I appreciate all the information, Gary. I know it's not easy to talk about all this stuff. I'm going to ask you something insignificant in comparison to what we've just spoken about, but I know that you've wanted the Tank Davis fight for quite some time. You've been very vocal about it. It seems to us it's fairly obvious that they don't want the fight. Have you kind of given up on it, or how do you look at it now?
I mean, to be honest with you, I never overlook anybody. Of course I would want the fight. But as of now, I'm focusing on Mark. Mark is the one that is willing to step into the ring and worked his way up the rankings to challenge me for my world title. Gervonta Tank Davis, he's not in a rush. Or maybe Floyd Mayweather, Leonard Ellerbe, none of them guys are not in a rush of putting him in the ring with me. I'd rather focus on a true warrior, a true gladiator, someone that's willing to put it all on the line and bring their physical best. That's Mark.
I just have one last question for you, Gary. A lot of guys talk about ring rust when they have been off for a long time. You've obviously had some long layoffs, and it hasn't been noticeable with you, particularly in your last fight against Tug Nyambayar. You didn't look rusty at all. How have you been able to combat that better than most?
Because I stay in the gym. Boxing is not just what I do; it's a lifestyle for me. Even when I'm over and done with my career, I will still be in the gym. I'll still be working out, and I'll still be trying to get me some sparring in every once in a while with who's ever willing to give me some work. It's just a certain type of lifestyle. I never really blow up and get big in weight or anything like that. I love what I do. I'm a competitor, and I'm honestly, I'm very militant as far as my mindset goes. I'm one of them type of people. I want to always have the condition. I tell people all the time, what if you had to run 3 miles to save your life? Would you be able to do it? This is something that I will always want for myself. This is something that I will always want for my friends, my family members, and etc. And me personally, I got children, so I want to be able to do it with luggage. I want to be able to do it with baggage. Just in case I got to put a baby or two on me, I want to be able to do it and be able to get through this thing with ease. So I always want to be in a certain level of conditioning or in a certain level of shape. And I think just my lifestyle and my way of living helps me overcome that.
Thanks again for your time and perspective, Gary. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Keith. Let's go now to Jim Conlon. Jim from RCB Radio Ireland.
Hi, Gary. I suppose you mentioned there about the 2 year sort of layoff, and you mentioned about trying to get fights and people not looking to get in the ring with you. But your record has been flawless so far, bar the Lomachenko sort of fight. Now, the last 2 years, an awful lot has happened with Loma, with Teofimo Lopez, and brought up scenarios that Loma's trying to go back. Is now the time right now in the next year or two to rekindle something with Loma going forward? Obviously, there's a wrong there that you want to right.
Of course. Like, once again, I'm a very respectful person, so I never overlook anyone. Right now my main focus is Mark Magsayo. I know he's ready and he's going to bring his best. But God willing, we get past him injury free. If I could make 2 fights that I would want to happen, I would want Gervonta Tank Davis and I would want Lomachenko.
And I suppose, Gary, in terms of this fight, you mentioned Mark, and one thing noticing about Mark's record is the knockout percentage. It's very, very high in terms of what do you think is his main, most powerful weapon, Mark, in terms of his punch?
Say that one more time.
What do you think is his main powerful arsenal in terms of his weapon, in terms of his knockout power? Is it his right overhand, or what sort of punch you think is he most effective with?
I feel as though that he's a little even-handed. I believe that he's more dominant with his right hand, though. I feel like he might hit harder with his right hand, but I feel as though he has good even punching ability. None of it really matters if you can't hit your target, though. If you can't land effectively, it doesn't really matter. If you catching gloves and I'm slipping, it doesn't really matter how hard you can punch. You can't land and touch the target.
And I just have one final question for Mark. Mark, in terms of this fight, I suppose people will look at it and say it's a win-win. It's a no-lose situation for you in terms of taking on this fight. It's a world title fight. It's probably the biggest name on your resume in terms of fights so far in Gary Russell. The opportunity has presented itself now to you. You've earned that opportunity. So obviously it's go hard or go home for you, Mark, in terms of trying to step up and deliver on the night against probably, well, many people see you as a dark outsider in terms of what you're capable of. Is this the time to show the world that you mean business?
Yeah, I'm gonna show the world that I'm the best in this weight, and I'm thankful for Shoshan putting me this opportunity to fight a world title fight. I've been waiting for this time, so I'm gonna do my best to win this fight.
Best of luck to both fighters.
Thank you.